Good morning, bedheads. Click. Oh my gosh, way to go, Canada. Wah, wah. If you're just hearing Mark Carney on the left, let's just say someone who believes in human rights. And someone is hopefully going to do opposite of what F-45 is doing. One in Canada. Good job, you guys. 8 Canada. We're cheering you on. Good job. You did better than we did. Way better. I do think that F-45 did help move that though, right? So hopefully that's happening all over the world. That would be the goal. So I'm coming to you from a different angle because this video today, it's not going to be, I'm not having any discussion, but I did want to say cheers to Canada, is I wanted to do a message from the guides like I do every day with Coffee with Karen, but I'm going to do the message live and then I'm going to do the card pull live as well because there's a lot of people who keep asking like to see what it looks like when I do it in the mornings. Okay, so this way when people ask, we can send them to this video and you get to see what the message is as I'm seeing it today. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the tools that I use right now, okay? Okay, and this would be, if you want to start getting your own messages from the pendulum. I think that's why it's helpful. Plus, I just like to see sometimes behind the scenes of how people do things. So right now, I am using these boards. It's like a map. It's metal, and this is made by Personally Yours. She is actually, this shop is on our business directory, okay, which is coming out next week in our newsletter. So it doesn't matter when you see this. We have a community, we have a newsletter. The link is right there. No, the QR code is right there. And we have a business directory for small businesses in our community that we're going to start sharing next week. Okay, so she is on there. Okay, so these are very cool. And this is the second one that she sent me. Okay, so this one has dates and numbers and all that. Okay, so you can use a variety. I've gotten another one from somebody that was like a mouse pad. I am actually in the process of creating a pendulum pack that has a lot more words and stuff on it. So this is great. I'll always use this, but I'll also use the pendulum pack. I'll have that available, I don't know, in a month or so. I'm just trying to do one thing at a time, And so this is what I use. And then I have this little container where I keep different pendulums. This is my original. This one is the original, and this came with my dowsing rods. So if you went into our shop link on Amazon, this is the set that you get, and it comes with this pendulum, okay? I do like this, to be very, very honest, because I like it small. I'm so used to it. I don't use the other ones as much. They're so pretty though that I like to keep them near me, and then every once in a while I do like to use them. Plus they're stone, and that's kind of cool. But this one's super small and it moves fast, and I'm just kind of used to it. You know how you get used to something? So I'm going to use this one today just because I'm used to it, and it'll make this process go faster because I'm not going to edit the pendulum. And they're pretty good. They don't swing too much. But I do have, like, this is somebody from the community. I'm not 100% sure yet if she's on the business directory, but if she is, I think she hasn't opened up her shop yet. But if she is, then at some point I will let you know. Okay, who she is, but she sent this to me, has a little cat charm. Isn't it cute? So that one's really pretty. The stone is beautiful. Then I got this one. To be honest, I got this one on Temu. I'm not we've talked about Temu on the channel before. I just wanted to test out to see what kind of stuff they had. I'm not, I'm not a huge fan or shopper on Temu, but it was interesting to see what they have. And then like this one, this came from Temu too. Now this one is small. I do like that. But the thing is like, you see how I have to work on, this is not straight. So do you see how it's kind of wonky like that? See how it's kind of wonking around? I don't know. It's just somehow these beads, because the beads are not so straight, I don't really like that. Like when I do this one, it's, there's no wonking around, it's just pretty straightforward. And then this is another one that I just got 3 on Temu, just test them out. And that one is amethyst. Okay. Now when I do them, I actually prefer like this length. So this much is actually too long. So I probably will clip that off if I was ever going to use this one. Only because I'm using it like right here. Okay. No, I don't, to have a really long one, you'd have to be standing, so I don't really like, I don't stand. So I like the shorter one. Okay. And then what I do is I just have a pad of paper. And as you know, this was the message yesterday, you guys, from our spirit guides. So they have a sense of humor. They do. And then, so for you guys, I write it here each letter. And what I do every day, which would be really good for anyone who's using this for themselves. I love doing this. Like many people know that I have a bullet journal, right? And in fact, I am designing my own bullet journal because rather than have to rewrite all these boxes and stuff, I started just creating my own. I'm going to put it through KDP on Amazon. We're going to have that ready fairly soon if you're interested in purchasing that. Because I created it to have one for myself, basically. So again, all those kind of, I'll announce it in a video, but if you really want to know when that stuff is available, then the newsletter, besides a whole bunch of other stuff, spiritual tips and all that kind of stuff would be good for signing up for the newsletter. Okay, right there. Okay, so in the bullet journal, I have pages for pendulum messages, basically. Okay, so I just pendulum readings. And what I really like to do, like if you did it every day for yourself and just got a pendulum reading like I do here for the channel, then I can go back and see what kind of patterns there are. And there is patterns to this, like the messages, it's amazing. And I've done videos on the messages before. So basically here's my second page of pendulum messages. And then my third page. So you'll see today exactly how I do this and why do I have if this was the message yesterday, why do I have this huge line written here? Okay, you'll see why. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that, and then I'm going to show you how I do a card pull for myself and the community, okay, each day. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to bring you down. I'm hoping, because I don't have like a really professional setup here, but I think, my sister and I were looking at that, I think that will be okay. If not, you can tell me if it doesn't, help you. Okay, so I got my pad and I got my pendulum. And then I'm going to say well, let me say the prayer real quick while I'm looking at you. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, and only those of the highest and purest light. And I ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it is only of the highest and purest light, as well as this community, highest and purest light. Amen. Okay, so then I haven't actually talked to them this morning, so this is exactly what I do, okay, when I'm preparing. So hey, you guys, good morning. Morning. They said hi. Do you have a message for the community today? Yes. Okay. Is it a political message? Yes. Do you have a personal message for them? No. Okay, so the message today has a political slant to it, let's say. Okay, or political energy. Yes. Okay. Is it more than 3 words? No. Is it 2 words? Yes. Okay, so that just gives me a sense. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay, can I just please ask that the message that you give us be for the highest and best good of this community? Yes. And that it's a message from all of our spirit teams in this community, a collective message that would be helpful for anyone who is watching this now and in the future? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's how I set it up, okay? So, and I will do the law of challenge. Actually, let me just do the law of challenge real quick. I usually do it once a day. So let's just do that in the morning here. So if you're not sure what the law of challenge is, I will go and post that video right here. You'll see me do it, but for more explanation, I'll post that video right here when this pops up. It'll pop up at the end of this video. Okay, so in the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. Okay, thanks. In the name of Christ, are you of the purest and highest light? Okay, thank you. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? So they said yes 3 times. And just a real quick, for the law of challenge, if you ask what I asked, in the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? You ask that 3 times. They are required, spiritual law, it's a spiritual law, they are required to give you an honest answer. So you might get no. I'm not going to go into what do you do if you get a no right now. In fact, I do have to record that. Make a note to myself. If you get no, what do you do? I have to do a separate video for that, so I will do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our message for today. This is fun. It'll be fun just to do it together, for me anyways. All right. Okay, you guys, so we're ready. So what's the first letter of the first word? So you can't see the top of my hand, unfortunately, but it's completely still. And they're just going to circle around till they find the first letter. Usually once I start establishing the word, they move pretty quickly through the letters. Okay, so I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Yeah, I'm going to let them swing a little. Usually I don't let them swing that much because I can see what they're doing. Okay, so that's either an L or a Y. So let me just check. Is that a Y? Okay, so see how they just turned and they're going up and down? Okay, so that's a Y. I'll just double check. Is that an L? Is the first letter an L? I don't normally do this. I usually pick up the rod sometimes because this process, so now they're going back to the yes, and see how they just turned and they're going no now? Okay, so we've got an L. Okay, we have a Y. And what's the next letter? So because I know them, I have a feeling, okay. I could tell where they were going to go. Is this, can you guys see that, is this an R? Okay, so they switched to the yes. Okay, so this is an R. Usually when they start a message with a Y, they're usually going to say, why are you? Okay, meaning Y, W-H-Y, R-A-R-E, U, W, or Y-O-U. But let's just see. Okay, so it's R, it's Y, R, and what's the third letter? Or the third? And it is interesting, right? Because they said it was 3 words. Yeah, that's interesting that they said that. Okay, so that's actually, if it's a Y-R-U message, okay, we got you guys. What's the next? They're just really swinging now. What's the next letter? Because they told me it was only 2 letters, didn't they? Or 2 words. Y-R. Okay, so you see the U. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm hoping you can. So now they went to U. Okay, so now I'm going to just say, just for clarification purposes, I'm going to pick up my dowsing rods and I'm going to say, hey, you guys, are you spelling basically 3 separate words? Like Y is 1 word? Yes. And R is a second word? Yes. And U is a third word. Okay, so the word is more than 2 letters, or the message is more than 2 words. Sorry, getting words and messages, or words, messages, and letters mixed up today. Okay, So you're asking, the message is a question for us. Why are you something? Yes. Okay. All right. So then I'm just going to write why. Oops. My goodness, my brain. Why are you? Why are you? Okay. Why are we what? Why are we what? Okay, is that I'm assuming that's an M. Is that an M? Okay, M. Okay, A. So now they're swinging A and N, right? Well, it wouldn't make sense to me that a word wouldn't be MN, right? So I know automatically they're going to MA. Okay, so MA. And then they went to yes, and now they're going back. Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, wait a minute. MA. Did I misread that one? Okay, where are you going next? Okay, this is interesting because are you guys done? Why are we MA? Are you asking why we're missing an action? What? Okay, so that has to be unpacked. Yes, they are. Okay, so I thought they were going to say again, because they've said this in the past, I thought they were going to say, why are you mad? I was waiting for them to go to the D, okay, like over here. But then all they did was circle. If you look here, circling, so the circle is either all done or we're done, okay? So I don't really know what direction they were going. It doesn't really matter to me because at this point I would just pick up my rods and just say, okay, so are you guys saying, why are you MA? Huh, okay. Why are you MA? They've given us this message before. Are you saying, is the MA missing an action? Okay. So now, okay, so if you're wondering, well, how I get more information here. So why are you MA? Okay. Why are you MA? So I'm going to write that down. Now, that's not enough for me. I'm like, well, you got to give me more. Okay. So why are you MA? Okay. So then I'm going to put, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Why do you say that? Something like that. Okay. So let's see what they say. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Can you give me more information about the why are you MA? Why is that an important message for us today? Or what do you want us to do? Just give me something that would give more clarity to that. Okay, is that an N? Yes. Okay, N. Again, because it was swinging N and A, so I just wanted to clarify. So N. Really? Okay. You stinkers. Are you saying no? Okay, you just playing. Okay, so now I'm like, are they just playing with us today? So this is at this point, again, you're just seeing my process. So they said no. So like, are you gonna, I basically said, maybe I asked them too many questions, obviously. I thought I would just leave it up to them, right? Give me something interesting. So obviously I asked, what do you mean? Can you give us something? Okay. So some of you might be sitting here going, well, you asked them 3 different things. Okay. Well, they also are intelligent beings. So they also know that in general, I could get, just, it's like having coffee with somebody. You don't just say one question at a time. You can rephrase something and they get the gist of what you mean, right? They are intelligent beings. They can do that. However, the fact that they just said no, one is either they're being sassy and they don't want to tell us, they want us to figure it out, which I will ask them, or I did ask too many questions and they want me to clarify. So I'm just going to go there. But this is part of the practice, okay? This is part of learning how to do it. Okay. So you guys spelled no when I asked you what do you mean? Can you give us more guidance? You said no, correct? Yes. And are you saying that you would prefer not to give us more information? Oh, okay. So do you want us to figure that out on our own, is what you're saying? Okay. Is it because it's an individual process? Like the first message is a collective message, but then the second message, it depends on the individual. Is that why? Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much what I do every morning. And when I come on Coffee with Karen, I've been picking up the rods and doing some clarifying if we need it, just like that. Like if I just came on Coffee with Karen and I said this, then I could pick up the rods and do exactly what I just did to get some clarification. Now, the other thing we can do, which is what I wanted to show you, is I would get my deck of oracle cards. Okay, so I created, and I know some of you probably are so sick of hearing me explain this, but this is an intro video, so I'll explain it again. So I got these tarot cards, little tiny deck. You can see how small it is. Okay, very small, right? Little tiny deck at Goodwill or something. And I don't do tarot very much, but I thought I'm going to get it because it was there and I don't know what I would do with it. So I had these sitting around, and once I started getting a collection of oracle cards, then I thought, oh, it'd be fun to put them on here and then create my own deck with all of my oracle cards so that the guides can tell me which cards to use. Okay. So all of my decks are written, and they're nothing fancy. If I have whatever pen I have, when I add another, I actually went through and put all the squares on, assuming I would use them all. I probably have like 10 left. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get, more, but okay. So then I've already said the prayer for today. And so now I'm going to specifically say, okay, you guys, so you said you didn't want to give us any more let me just ask. So you said you didn't want to give me any more information on the pendulum, correct? Yes. But would you give us more guidance about this specific message, why are you MA, with Oracle? Yes, you would. Or is getting message from Oracle today just for personal messages? Meaning just like not political, not about this message? No. So if you give me an oracle deck right now, might people be able to interpret a little bit more about what you mean by why are you MA? Yes. Okay. So the card deck you're going to suggest for me is going to be helping us answer that question for ourselves. Why are you MA? Missing in action. Yes. Okay. All right. So then I will shuffle these and just, excuse me, basically, okay, you guys can go ahead and what deck do you want me to use? So I've already okay, so that one, do you see how that one just kind of popped out right there? So I will grab that and I'm going to put it here. I will shuffle a little bit more. I could right away pick up the rods, but if you don't have them, sometimes you can't confirm, right? Like I can. If you don't have like the rods and the pendulum and the whatever, maybe you only have the pendulum and you could stop and ask the pendulum if that's the card deck you want. Okay, so now those just fell down. So I've got 4. Okay, so we've got 4. This is what I do every morning. I'm going to put those to the side here. Whoop, right there. And now I'm going to pick up the rods again and just say, okay, so I have four decks in front of me. Did we select the correct one? I mean, is it one of those 4 that you want us to use? Yes. Okay. So, and they are saying yes, even though it looks like the other one's moving too. The other one's hardly moving. It looks more on camera. Okay, let's go through. So do you want me to use the Spirit Animal Oracle? No. Do you want me to use the Sacred Forest Oracle? No. Do you want me to use Inner Child? No. Do you want me to use Self-Care? And remember, that was the first one that fell out of the deck. Ah, this is interesting. Okay, so I find this a little interesting because they want us to use Self-Care Wisdom Oracle when we're talking about like, why are you missing in action? Okay, so I asked for a collective message for the community. This may not pertain to every single person, but let's find out what it is. Okay, so I am going to go over there now in that cabinet, and I'm going to grab my oracle, that oracle deck. And if you're wondering, I left the cabinet open. Whoop, it's so weird when you're on camera. So just so you can see and they're in alphabetical order, but I have them on 3 shelves in alphabetical order. So I got plenty of room still. I keep telling myself, I got plenty of room. I'll just have to make a few more cards myself, I guess. Okay, so we have these self-care wisdom cards then. So for those of you who made it to the end here, we might as well get a message for today. It'd be silly not to. All right, already said the prayer. This deck is so cute. Okay, so let's see what they wanted us. I'm just trying to see how this is. Okay, so it's basically, there's no booklet in this deck. Again, it's self-care wisdom. And there's no booklet, but it has a word on one side and then more message on the back. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see. And I basically do the same process. I don't really need to shuffle. I just do it because I enjoy shuffling. So I basically do the same process. Okay, so what message do you guys have specifically about why are you MA? What do you want us to know about that? What do we need to know about why are you MA? And you guys, if you're getting intuitive, like if you just immediately are like, yep, I know what they're talking about, that is a perfect message for you, okay? Trust it. If something came into your mind immediately when you got that message, trust that, okay? Whoops. So there's a whole bunch of them that are fine. I'm not going to pull these because there's just way too many, okay? These cards are a little slippery, so that's... Okay, so now this one is kind of sticking out by itself. So I'm just going to put that down. I'm not going to look at it or read it. Okay, do you guys have any others? Any other cards today? Okay, I'm not getting a sense. I'm just going to pull the 2 on top and just see if we've got if any of those would be helpful. Okay. Are there any other cards in the deck you want me to pull? No. Okay. I have 3 cards in front of me. Are you intending for me to do for the community to do a pick one today? Yes. Okay. So is the card on the right, the blue card, is that card number 1? Okay, in the middle is card number 2. You want that in card number 2. And the one on the left green is card number 3. So they said yes, yes, and yes to those. Okay, so what you'll want to do is just take a deep breath. And even when I went over them just now, even based on color, if you're like, that was mine, just go with that. Go with that. It's not a hard process. You don't need to overthink it. And so just give yourself a second. Like I usually take a breath. I usually say 1, 2, 3 in my head. And then sometimes I say 1 and I can't even get to 2. You know what I mean? Like it's just interesting. You just have to figure out how to do that. And again, you could get a message from all 3 too. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I've got a 1 again. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see. So this is 1. Let's look at the image. So I could actually just pop you up here. I don't need to bring you down again. Okay, so remember, why are you MA? Okay, so what this is telling me, I asked for a political message, but if you think about this, they're like, why is your self-worth MA right now? Anybody who picked 1 who's feeling a little bit, I am. I've been doing a little shadow work, so I feel a little rocky. I got to bring that back, right? So self-worth, elevate. Okay. You get what you believe you deserve. It's time to raise your standards. Wow. Okay, very good. You get what you believe you deserve. It's time to raise your standards. Amazing. Okay, so RUMA. Does that help anybody with RUMA? What's interesting is they said they were giving us a political message. So you need to figure out what that means to you. And I need to think about this too, because this was my card. So I need to think about this too, not only in personal message, but for the political. Okay. Okay, so number 2s, if you picked a number 2, sovereign. Okay. You are the queen/king of your life. Treat yourself like royalty. So again, why are you MA? Are you not treating yourself like royalty? Okay. What's really interesting is I think we're heading in this direction for society as things start to, the structure that we currently had is breaking down. I wonder how much we're doing this individually as smaller communities. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so anything you're picking up, just let us know. I'd love to hear it. And then this is for those who picked 3, decision. I feel like I could use all 3 of these today. Why not? Sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. Yep, sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. So why are you MA? You'll have to think about that. I'm not picking up anything intuitively about this message regarding that, but it could be decision, meaning are you floating between decisions right now and how you're getting how you're feeling about what's going on politically, or that could be too, is you're floating between it's time to make a decision. However, maybe you're trying to make a decision of, should I do this or should I that? And maybe they're saying, nope, maybe you don't have to make a decision at all. It's kind of interesting. Okay, well, I hope showing this process was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? Okay, take care. Bye-bye.